Hello, my friends. I'm about 5 hours into playing the game thus far, struggling with the UI, struggling mightily to find staff that have applied to the job. I'll show you that in just a second. Later on in this episode, we will show the game against Bayern Munich in the Super Cup because that's about as far as I've gotten. So we're still building our staff here at Wolfsburg, but here's the problem. Again, I understand that SI decided to remove the numbers from staff attributes, at least what's visible to the players. We saw in the first episode that they're actually still there, you just can't see them. The problem is when they apply to your job, it doesn't show you any of their attributes. I understand they don't have the numbers like they used to, but you could still show me the key attributes for the role and what their rating is. I understand they got rid of the numbers, but they still need to show us the key attributes for each role and how that staff that applied stacks up against the others. Because without that, right, if you think about how FM used to work, you would have for a physiotherapy in a column, right, with all the numbers, and you could stack rank and go, I'm going to choose the one, at least I'm going to look at the one with the highest physiotherapy. You don't get that. So what ends up having to be done is you go, I'm going to click on Omar. You see how like that doesn't seem like that took that long, and I know it's a beta, but it's like click and then loads. Okay, he's got very good. All this other stuff looks fine. I'm also not getting anything highlighted when I change for the key attributes, but that's a separate issue. And then you click back and it takes a second to load. And then you click Matias Rosa, average. Okay, great. It takes forever to cycle through and look at all. There's no way to stack rank the people that I can see, which is insane. That is a major problem. I don't know if that's a bug or just a UI complaint, but I'm going to put it on the forums. Moving on past that, this is our current transfer activity in terms of who's come into the club. Yep. We did have Jesse Fleming come in on trial. Also, trial lists are not showing up on transfer activity at all, and you can't offer someone a contract while they're on trial until the agent comes back to you. Anyway, Jesse, we extended a contract that she was happy with. It was like 2.7K a week. And then Chelsea came calling, Chelsea being the richest club on planet Earth in the women's world, and comes in and offers her apparently 3.6 to 4.6K. And she said, see you later. But we desperately need a center back. I brought in 3 on trial, and they haven't been very good, and they're getting picked off by other clubs, which has been fine. So we got Steph Catley here, who is 31 years old. She can also play left wing back, but we are looking at her for center back. She's at Arsenal. The agent says to expect 300 to 450K. I think this would be a great thing to show on a save to go like, here's how it works in the women's world thus far. Now, I'm not sure if this is a bug because it's got also the agent feedback on the contract, and it was doing that before I talked to the agent. That's probably just a bug. She's going to want a lot of money, 3.1 to 3.8K, but like if we could get our Virgil van Dijk a left-footed center back, I think I'd take it. Let's see if they'll take 300 up front, 100 over 3 installments, and 40 grand after 30 games. I'm gonna click suggest terms. They love it. I probably just overpaid, but it is what it is. So we'll see if that goes through. It hasn't shown up in my not inbox, my messages randomly. Let's go take on Bayern Munich, who are favored to win the league 2-5 odds, and we are 4-1. And then there's this. Again, I don't know what I've done wrong here. It asks for the registration window. I tried to register some players that are currently not on trial. They're at the club. And like Linnea Celine is a youth prospect we called up. Luca Pap is somebody that was loan listed. And they're not registered for the Super Cup. So I'm not sure why that is. And I can't see anything in the rules about it. So we've got a good squad to roll up. Good for us. Like center backs, still quite the problem. It's just that we can only bring, a couple of outfield players and none of them play defense. I'm sure it'll be fine. We're going to lay down a marker against Bayern and set the tone for the rest of the season. In a good way. I promise it's in a good way. And I meant to show this. I did get this fixed. I had some sort of bug closing the game and reloading the save from the same save point helped, where I now have all the positions that a player plays. I've lost like the condition. I think there was an issue with like when I clicked replace once, it like kept it and it kept deleting. Like at one point, I deleted the players' names, which is obviously a bit challenging. So I've got this reset to how I mostly like it, except rating has randomly moved. But instead of just having the one position a player can play, we can now see all the positions, which is much more useful. Hopping in real quick to remind you that hitting the like button, subscribing, and leaving a comment really do help the channel. I'll be putting out daily FM content and live streaming every so often. In fact, a couple hours after this episode first comes out. So you'll get notified of that on YouTube if you hit subscribe and hit the notification bell. We'll see you then. I am getting this weird stack rank thing where the last time it was like sub number 14 and 15 were stuck at the top no matter how you sort them. Now it's subs 2, 3, and 6. Maybe it's saying you can bring more subs, but you can't. But I can't. I don't have. I don't have any. Nothing's happening when I take the opposition instructions. It also said like all sorts of crazy stuff, like they're gonna sit deeper and we can press higher. And I was like, let's just focus on playing our tactic and see what happens. Okay, a couple of them were inspired by that. 4-2-3-1 against our 4-3-3 should be a good matchup. Okay. A little jittery there. It's a beta. I can accept that it's a beta. Hopefully you can as well. Hopefully they fix a lot of the stuff. I do realize I can bump this down now. You can see a lot more of what's going on the pitch. We had a friendly where we scored at the very end and had like, it was against Sheffield United. And we had like 28 shots, but like in the first half, it was like 11 or 12 or 13 shots with none on target. It's like, this is not great. Corner coming in, we cleared out. Okay. I just have it on key highlights, dynamic mode off, because I'm not sure how it would treat the Super Cup. I'd like to think it would just show like it would consider it an important match, but you never know. And yes, there are penalties if for some reason we're drawing at the end. I love this camera angle. Love it. Levels is going to help us get out of it being level. It's the second time I've tried that, but it works. Alexandra pops it in with her head off of the bar, apparently. Now, we didn't get to hear the bar because I got the match sounds turned off, but we still get the crowd. Oh, just skim maybe the underside of the bar? Otherwise, that's a... I like how the corner taker's like, I got this. I got this. I'll be over here celebrating by myself. We take the early lead, my friends. Maybe it's because they're playing rotated players because they could register them. Maybe. Lots of stuff in our defensive third, though. We break out. Okay, every once in a while we're breaking out there. I do like the 2D. You kind of just have to get used to jittering around. Okay, we're in the 32nd minute now. Plays it back. Keeper just says, see ya. All right, wait. Bousset on the right. That sounds like the French version of that. Maybe it's Bussy. I don't know. Bulle. Okay. Takes a touch. Oh, that's going to be a... Oh, she rifled that home. You could tell. That's the second goal we've conceded from something like that in preseason. Shortly thereafter, 35th minute, just about. Pings it out wide. Okay, Venemeyer. Okay, she goes back to her right back position. Ping it over to Oberdorf. She's got two options. She goes to the center. Dahlman takes the touch. And, ooh, good save. Good save is what it looked like to me. If you're enjoying this, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. I don't know how many people are going to be doing Women's League saves. I'm going to try and take the helm there, if you will. I mean, when you look at the shots, it's 1-1. They've had a couple more shots than us, but the XG is relatively the same as we go to the 42nd minute. I'm not sure if every game we've played in Germany it's been raining. Maybe that's common. Okay, she goes, here we go, down the wing. Okay, oh, she just cooked her. Oh, I thought that was a goal. Our right back is on a 6.5. Okay, still a 6.5. I guess we'll take it. They've got all the possession, though, so it's like, should we go to counterattack? I'm not so sure. Although, if you look at the, again, somewhat useless match momentum, it has been all in their direction. Okay, I've made some slight adjustments to the fluid counterattack in terms of putting Bierenstein on the, what does it say, OWM? Wide outlet, wide midfielder. Easy for me to say. And then I think these are a little bit different with the pressing central midfielder and then just a central midfielder instead of a screening central midfielder. We'll see. You might say, you're drawing. You should stick with it. But they had all the momentum except that one bit where we scored. So I'm wondering if we go a little bit more cautious, if that helps us stay on top of it where we're not getting, you know, ripped to shreds through the middle of the park. First 5 minutes, it looks like we have more stuff going on in their defensive third than in ours. So let's see if we can score here. Another one from Levels? Huh? No, that doesn't beat the first lady. Okay, but Bjornstein's got it. Shh. Oh, that was too easy. Ladies. I mean, maybe the keeper should have done something about that. She's the only one that can use her hands. Let's go watch to see what happened here. It's headed out. Pop stays onside. She's making a good... Oh dear. Oh, that's offside, isn't it? Is it just me? Is it just me? Maybe she hit it. Maybe I was already looking at Pop, but I could have sworn she was offside before then. But again, just watching the... It's not the heat map. I guess the 2D here. Looks to be more on their side. Maybe a little bit even. But the possession, I guess, to be fair, is still heavily favoring them. One more, and then we're going to look at subs. Huth. Pings one in. Oh, it's flicked out again. Okay, close that down. Lovely little cross there. The corner taker heads it just wide. Again, we don't know the team, so we're going to go look. Who do we need to take off? Oh, she's delighted, but starting to get exhausted. It is preseason, and we do have other players to bring on, so we will sub her off and say thanks for that cross. Well, the ratings, this is the match ratings now. This is for the entire... I thought that was like the average rating. Okay, we're down to double digits, my friends. We're going to the hundreds places. That's where I'm going to take you. So bring on Samila Viato, who's not fantastic as an attacking midfielder, but she's one of the only ones we got. So we're going to say, make me proud. One of them likes it. Viato? I'll have to look. I'm not sure if she's German or Spanish. I should probably know. No, I shouldn't know that. I just started this today. Okay, it's going all right. Eriksson. Is it raining slightly? Have her play for set pieces. She throws it straight to a teammate because we decided not to mark. That goes wide. As much as we want to beat Bayern, we don't want to lose anybody to injury. Berenstein is looking a little knackered here, so we will bring on Zakai. We're going to put Minge back in the mech line. Hedemors can come on. I've got this as a bug as well. It just auto applies a team talk. I'm sure they know about that. Rolling into the last 15 minutes here, my friends. 14 shots, 15 to their 12, 6 on target to their 5. We've got the XG advantage. They've got the possession advantage. But they have not been able to do anything with it just yet. Was it a tactical masterclass to go to the cautious 89th minute? Can we sneak in a sub to waste some time? Sure, you're a DM. Come on down. Again, it applies the same team talk. Not sure, or applies no team talk. 2 minutes added on. My friends, for the first time in VfL Wolfsburg women's team history, we have won the Super Cup, and we did it over Bayern Munich. I told you. We're setting down a marker, and it was going to be positive. I definitely knew that. But it works out. You can have all the possession you want. Look at that. I would say the celebration's slightly better than FM24. At least the confetti appears to be coming out of cannons rather than just randomly out of the sky. Boy, look at that suit. I'm styling. I'm styling in the muted green. It makes me hard to see on the sideline because I blend in with the pitch. I'm not sure why that's a tactical advantage, but it is. Alexandra Pop takes us to the top, my friends. Let's go. Coming off that high, Steph Catley is very interested, I should say, in negotiating terms, but feels there's currently a more appealing option elsewhere. Let's go see if we can convince her. All right, she's happy with the important player, challenge for the league next season, which I'm hoping we're going to do this season. We are second favored, right? And then sending her on an intensive language course, which she didn't ask for, but it's kind of important if you're going to go play in Germany. Okay, previous discussions was 3.1 to 3.8K. Of course, they're going for the high end of that on a 2-year deal, plus a bunch of appearance fees. I have no context here. I need a center back. If that's what you want, I'll even sweeten the pot. I'm going to go 3.8K, and I'm going to give you an extra 2 grand and the agent, because I've lost a couple players that were here on trial and interested. If you give me clean sheets, sure. You want to win the Champions League? Fair. Okay. How about if we win the league? We'll not do Champions League money because that's big money. We'll do 10 grand. That sounds good to me. Gonna go think it over. The other place is the Washington Spirit is what she's considering, but put in a fair offer. We gave her more money than she was asking for. I know I've just paid through the nose, but we'll see how it goes. I think that's where we'll wrap it up, my friends, to see what happens next episode. Can we get a center back over the line? Can we sign any other players? Have we just blown our entire transfer budget on one player? Only time will tell. But if you've enjoyed this, make sure you hit that like button and hit subscribe. It really does help the channel. And leave a comment. What are your thoughts about the FM26 Beta? What are your thoughts about this save? And we'll see you next time.